Hey everybody, Donkeystorm here, and today we are going to celebrate the end of Season 3 and the beginning of Season 4 by going over a tier list of how I think the Mythic Plus meta is going to change going into Season 4. So, if you guys like the video today, make sure you hit subscribe to see more videos like it, and you can check out my stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays right here on YouTube, 9 o'clock Pacific, for all kinds of Mythic Plus WoW stuff. Alright, let's get right into it. So, here on screen, this is my end of Season 3 tier list that I think it's pretty in line with what I think most people would say. I feel really good about the first maybe 2.5 tiers. And this is a combination of my own personal experiences, what I see on Raider.io, what I see on sub creation. But I would say this is pretty well agreed upon throughout the community. So we're going to play around with it a little bit here going into Season 4. Now you might ask, well, we're not getting any new legendaries, we're not getting any new tier sets, why would any of this change? Well, we are getting some balance changes, we are getting a new seasonal affix, we are getting new dungeons, and there's often a domino effect when one class falls or rises, another class rises or falls as a result of that. So we're going to be looking at all that today. I do think there's going to be some swaps, particularly at the top of this list. So let's get right into it. Destruction Warlock is getting the biggest nerf of anyone going into Season 4. I think they got hit pretty hard. Obviously, they needed some change, and I'm going to move them from S tier to the top of B for now. Yeah, I do think that you're going to see Destrolock out of the tippy top meta of Mythic Plus. As a result of that, I think Fire Mage is going to be moving up as our new Rain DPS flavor of the month. Fire Mage has some really good gear out of the loot table for Season 4, and Fire Mage has already been kind of on the rise anyway, so I do think Fire Mage is going to be very good in Season 4. Survival also got nerfed, but not quite as hard. I am going to stick them in A, but I am going to put them behind both Windwalker and Subtlety Rogue. Now this part's kind of tricky, because Windwalker also took a roughly 2% overall AoE nerf, but Windwalker is still super good. So not often does a class get nerfed but bumped, but I am going to put Windwalker in my S tier. I'm also going to put Sub-Rogue in my S tier. I think this, maybe not both of these, but one or the other of these melee are going to be 4 of your 5 meta groups. With the loss of the WoW skip, Shroud is going to be making a return. Rogues are always super good in Mythic Plus. They just have a great kit for it. I think you're going to be seeing a lot more Rogues. In other DPS news, Shadow Priest got a sizable AoE buff. I don't think Shadow Priest really has the kit to be a high tier Mythic Plus DPS class, but I do think that the sizable AoE buff they got is going to move them into B. So we're going to stick them there. Balanced Druid also got an AoE buff, but I don't think it's enough to really make any meaningful change in their placement. With Destro dropping, I do think that Demonology is going to be the play for Warlocks, and it's pretty good too. So we're going to move Demonology into the A tier. I don't think Warlock is gone, but I bet a lot of those Destro locks are going to be moving into Demonology. We're even going to give Affliction a little bit of a bump, because I think we'll see a little bit more of that too. That's the problem with a lot of these classes at the bottom, is you just don't see them because they've got a counterpart spec that's just super strong. Like Beast Mastery's got Survival, Arcane's got Fire, and so on. Unless you're like just a real one-trick pony player, most people tend to gravitate toward that super strong spec. Other than that, I think this looks pretty good for DPS. Yeah, no reason to think that any of these other classes are going to make a big jump. So let's talk about tanks. No changes were made to Blood, so as far as I'm concerned, Blood's going to stay on top. I would say Brew being a pretty close second, and Paladin got a bit of a buff, so they're going to be a little bit stronger against just kind of your garden variety auto attacks. We'll just put them a little bit ahead of Demon Hunter. And then Prot Warrior's got a pretty sizable buff. We're actually going to move them. I'm going to put them ahead of Guardian Druid. And I actually think the tank balance is pretty solid. I know Blood is very good, but I think the difference between your top and bottom tank is not that big. They're all pretty competitive. So I think tanks are looking okay. Just Blood a little bit better, and it got picked up by all the best players, so you're going to see it again. Healer is pretty similar, so we didn't see any changes to healers. So no reason that I wouldn't think Holy is still going to be your top dog. I think Resto Shaman is super strong too, especially if you just pug and maybe don't do like the tippy top keys. Resto Shaman is excellent healer. Holy Paladin, we do see some Holy Paladins pushing some really high keys, so I'm placing them here. And then I would say Resto Druid is a little bit behind that. And then the unfortunate story of Mistweaver, once again, just not really getting the love. Just doesn't do enough damage to be a top tier Mythic Plus healer, and Discipline is just suffering from the fact that it's right next to Holy on the talent selection. I don't think Discipline is like terrible, but if you're a priest, you're probably playing Holy. It's just pretty clearly better right now. And that's the case for a lot of these specs. Like Beastmaster, you just don't see it because they're all playing Survival or maybe even Marks. Arcane, you just don't really see it because they're all playing Fire or possibly Frost. So, that's just kind of the reality of one spec being better than the other. So I think overall, that's going to pretty much do it for the changes, in my opinion. I think if you're looking for what are the 5 specs that are going to be in the meta class, I'd say Blood DK, Holy Priest, Fire Mage, in my opinion, are pretty locked in. One of these two, probably not both, Windwalker or Sub-Rogue, both are going to be really good. And then I'm not really sure about that 5th DPS spot. That'll be interesting to see. Kind of similar to this season where it was Destrolock, Survival Hunter, and fill in the blank, depending on what your group prefers to run. Might be something similar to that again, or maybe not. Who knows? It's a brand new season. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to doing some new WoW content. Again, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Check out the stream Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday evenings, 9 o'clock Pacific. Going to be running tons of keys this season. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. Thanks for watching the video. I'd really be curious to know in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think I totally missed on something? Do you have your own predictions? Love to hear from you in the comments. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.